Good morning. Welcome to Adaptive Chicago Productions. I'm Kenny Borst, your host. What we're talking about is service dogs who assist people with disabilities. Here to speak on the matter is Jack. Welcome to Adaptive Chicago Productions, Jack.
Thank you for having me.
You are in charge of an organization. I understand it's called the Barking Angels, correct?
I'm the director of Barking Angels Service Dog Foundation, and we place service dogs and companion dogs with children and adults. Each dog is trained for the specific needs of that person. So if someone was hearing impaired, we can do a hearing dog. Some of the dogs that are with the kids in the wheelchairs that you'll see on the tape are trained to open up doors. A lot of the doors at stores or colleges, schools have a touch plate. So that dog is trained to jump up, touch the plate, and then the doors open, and then the wheelchair can go through.
The dog that I have laying here to the left of me is 10 years old, and he's my fifth guide dog, and he will be retiring pretty soon, and I will be needing a successor guide dog. But, you know, I answer a lot of these questions for the public all the time. People always want to know, well, is he trained to protect? And I tell them, no, there's a difference between a guard dog and a guide dog. And I have to be very explicit and specific about that. Do you spend a lot of time doing a lot of outreach to the public, and what methodologies do you use to do that?
We do a lot of demos throughout the city of Chicago, and just to teach people about the do's and don'ts. Just like you have a seeing eye dog.
Exactly.
Our service dogs wear a vest, and on the vest it says, please do not touch. So in the community, when you're walking down the street, it'd be very distracting if someone went to pet your dog.
That's
could
correct.
Cause an accident. It's the same for a service dog. It says clearly on the vest, do not touch. So we educate the public about don't touch the dog, don't distract the dog. And you still get, sometimes children once in a while will come up, but we try to have people not touch the dogs.
You know, it's funny that you should say that about children, because I hear that all the time from the public. They'll say to me, well, I bet you have all kinds of trouble with children, don't you? And I say, you know, actually, I've had much less trouble with children than I have with adults, particularly more with elderly people. But yeah, it's a situation, and you never really know what you're going to find. But when you have the vests that say do not touch, have you found that people, do they read them?
You know, unfortunately, people still will come up and try to touch the dogs. Now, in the videotape that you have, some of those dogs are actually brand new. They've only been training for a couple of months, and some of the dogs have been around for 5-6 years. But we still get people who will attempt to pet them. This dog that I have here, Angus, he's retired. So when we do public demonstrations or we are out in the mall, occasionally we'll let a disabled child or a disabled person touch the dogs. The new dogs we try not to, because they're still in training. We want to incorporate the fact to the dogs that you can't be touched. Some of the older dogs that have been around for 5, 6, 7 years, if someone does go up to touch them, you can tell that the dog looks uncomfortable. He knows he's not supposed to be touched when he has his vest on.
That's a rule of thumb that they say in guide dog training all the time. The instructors will tell us in lectures, they'll say, be consistent.
Right. That's true for all dog training. Even when you're just training the family pet, consistency is the most important thing. And with the service dogs, when the service dog wears his vest, he knows he's working. And that question comes up a lot. When you take that vest off, the dogs go wild. So you can have a dog that's very calm, slow moving, trying to act appropriate, and then when you get home and you take that vest off, the dog knows it's playtime and he can do whatever he wants. So they know the difference.
Yeah, oh yeah, they do. And you know, it's funny because that comes up all the time with when I'm doing, and see, when they say educate the public, I've changed the terminology there. I've always called it, I don't call it education, I call it conflict resolution. Because that's a lot of times what it is. People will say to me things like, well, sir, when you take his harness off, you know, can he just be like a regular dog? And I said, well, yeah, I mean, but there are certain constraints. I mean, he's not allowed on the furniture, he's not allowed table food, he still has to eat his dog food. And it's, of course, because the bad habits would carry over to his work, not to mention be of hindrance to his health.
Right. And those are all things to keep in mind for pet dogs as well as service dogs.
As well as service
Now,
dogs.
about your point about the protection, dogs, service dogs can do a ton of things. They can do all kinds of stuff. It is not allowed that the dog do protection work. That's really not the idea behind a service dog.
That's
and in
right.
the clip, you will see one dog that is a brown and white dog, and that dog is actually a pit bull mix. And that dog's name is Trixie. She's a great dog. She's new to training, and she does bracing for her owner, Tracy, and you'll see that in the clip. That dog is actually a pit bull mix, but they've been evaluated. They are in training, so that usually we don't use pit bulls, but sometimes they are. They're great dogs, and Trixie did pass all of our tests, and she's a super dog.
I had a life alert on, and I had her shock collar on my chest, and I fell down the stairs, and she took my safety button, pushed on it, ran to the machine, and started howling.
Great.
And I never trained her to do that.
So how does she know?
You know what? She picks up when I'm sick because she's with me all day long. And then now that we started going through Barking Angels, she's really learning to catch on to things. She's still new. She still thinks like this is puppy time, you know, like playtime right now. Because I did tell her she's going to work. When we tell her she's going to work, she gets her vest and her leash, and she's ready to go. So I've been taking her. I'm trying to take her twice or 3 times a week up north because I take a handicap bus because I don't drive.
Okay, so how was that? Like, I'm sorry.
No,
Have you ever taken public transportation with it?
I am taking it now. It's not public. It's called PACE for handicapped people.
Okay.
Public transportation, not yet, because 1, I'm not stable enough.
Okay.
And 2, she's new, and I don't want her to be afraid. Like, we had an incident that somebody acted up on the handicap bus.
Such as?
As attacking me.
Oh.
And Trixie didn't attack the lady, but I mean, this lady went ballistic.
The woman was fearful of the dog.
Okay.
So she pulled me to my legs.
So you know, that's an interesting question. These dogs aren't taught to attack.
No,
or
they are
protect.
not.
They just
learn.
service.
Yeah, and they just learn. You know, she's starting to just now start to be very protective of me in our house.
Right.
We've noticed she's kind of getting a little protective of our house. We live in a townhome. She has 2 puppies to play with.
Okay.
So she does that well. She socializes with dogs and kids. She loves kids because we have kids on our condo association. So for her breed, everyone says, you know, she should be a service dog, but they're wrong because she's the best dog I've ever had.
Because you have your service dog, are you more independent now? Like, say you go to a mall, or do you accompany with her all the time?
I do when I'm not working. You know, I can't be there 100% of the time, and that's where Trixie, you know, to be with her when I'm not able to be there, because she can take, you know, the bus to come to the mall or take trips to the store or something, and where I can't be there for Tracy, you know, Trixie takes over. She is there to you know, help
Keep
her.
me company.
She's a bracing dog because she falls a lot.
And I can't even show you an example.
Trixie helps her get back up.
Well, I understand, but you know what? The severity of your disability. I mean, how do you get up with Tracy?
With Trixie?
Trixie.
I'm Tracy. This is Trixie.
Okay.
That's okay. Everybody
Sorry,
does it.
I'm sick.
All right, hold on. Trixie. I'm gonna leave her just
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down. Trixie, come help me.
Okay.
And she'll brace me.
All right.
She'll come right to me. Normally I'm falling because like she's licking my boo-boo so bad it's killing. It's on my knees. But she's very good about, no matter where she's at, I'll say, Trixie, come. And usually she kisses me first to make sure I'm okay. But if I'm already bracing on her, she doesn't.
Where do you see yourself going in the future? Do you have any goals for the Barking Angels? Do you plan on expanding or
Well,
anything?
we'd like to keep the program going. It's a small program, so we place 2 or 3 dogs a year. It's hard to find foster trainers, and that's something you'll also see in the clip. There's a gentleman, Bill, who trained Essie, the German Shepherd. A foster family is actually a family who will take a dog from us. They raise and train the dog, come out with us every week, and Bill's had Essie, I believe, for about a year. So Bill is the primary trainer of Essie, And then once the dog reaches that qualification, then he'll transfer the dog to the owner. And you'll see Ella explain her dog, Essie, the German Shepherd.
This is Essie. She's 4 years old, and I've had her for about 4 weeks now, so we're still getting used to one another.
And how does Elsie help you?
She does bracing, see where she stands, and when I feel...
So you're able to push off her back to stand up?
Yeah.
And she kind of helps you, you use her as a balance to sit down.
Right.
And how is it in the mornings with them?
Well, she's right there by my side whenever I need her, you know, getting out of bed, and she's right there. There's a few more things I can teach her.
Like, such as?
Well, as the disease progresses, I'll have less use of being able to move my legs, and I can teach her actually to, as I'm trying to get into bed, to actually push my leg up on the bed.
And what are the most important commands that she understands?
The most important ones that she understands is to brace,
Okay.
to come when I call her, and to get back when she's getting too far ahead. I walk much slower than other people, so she's getting used to my pace.
So how long does the training take usually?
It kind of depends on what we need to do. So first we evaluate the person and we evaluate the dog. So we kind of have to determine what that person needs. If the dog is going to go to, let's say, a child with autism, it might not need as many skilled training. If a dog is going to go to someone in a wheelchair, they have to learn doors, picking things up, possibly bracing. But a rule of thumb is about a year, maybe a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Right. And in the last few years, we've placed a few dogs for PTSD, and you hear a lot about that in the news with war veterans. The actual first dog we placed for PTSD was with a teenager. That dog's name was Levi, and
wow.
He worked out great. But we do have a couple of dogs coming up for PTSD.
So, but Levi's no longer working.
He's almost retiring. I believe he should be retiring about now, and that person, I think, is looking for another dog.
Yes, and it's wonderful that the dogs are able to help people with that, and because I know that one of the guide dog training schools on the East Coast also trains dogs for that. That they have a program for disabled veterans in addition to doing their guide dog training program.
The dogs get to be so in tune with somebody that they can pick up on all of your body language and your body changes. So with PTSD, a lot of times people will get severe shakes, night sweats, your body will change. There's all different possibilities depending on what your symptoms are. But the dogs are so in tune, when you do have an episode of PTSD, the dogs are able to relax that person. So in cases of severe anxiety or tremors, that dog is taught to lay on the person, make physical contact with them, and that reduces the stress for that person.
You know, and sometimes that's true. I'm glad that you explain all that, because one of the things, and it's true that I've noticed this from having the number of guide dogs that I've had, and of course I was raised with pet dogs, but you know, I hate to say this, but they pick up on stuff a lot sooner than we do, a lot quicker than we do as human beings. It shouldn't be that way, but unfortunately it is.
And you've done a lot of shows about disabilities.
Yes.
And one thing to point out to the public is that if you see somebody with a physical disability, you can see their service dog and that they have a physical disability. But there are people who have invisible disabilities. So
That's right.
if somebody has a service dog and they're ambulatory and they're walking, you might not be able to see what their disability is. And a lot of times those people get stopped in stores or in public and say, hey, you know, what are you doing? You can't come in here with that dog. That dog is still a service dog, and even though you can't see their disability, they still have one, and they're utilizing that dog to help them with that.
That's right. They're utilizing that dog to help them with whatever the disability is, but also I need to point out here that for members of the public as well, don't get yourself caught up in this situation, because according to the ADA, you cannot ask somebody what their disability is. What you can do is you can say, to them what function was this dog trained to perform to mitigate the disability. But you cannot actually ask what the person's disability is. That is illegal under the ADA, which was passed 24 years ago.
And you would think people would know, but unfortunately there's a lot of people who do not know what the laws are.
Oh,
and we've had a few instances where we had to utilize the attorneys at Access Living to help with a few cases. So sometimes that does come up.
Oh, I can believe that that would still come up because, you know, it does all the time.
Yeah,
it does all the time. I still am, you know, the first guide dog was trained in the late 1920s, but I still have to tell people, oh yeah, he's allowed on the bus. You know, just the other day somebody asked, what's that dog doing on the bus? And the lady said, he's a helper dog. And I said, well, don't ask her, ask me. I'm sitting right here. Don't talk about me like I'm not here.
Right, yeah, we've had a few cases like that where people, even though our dogs carry an ID tag, and on the back of the ID tag is the ADA law, and even though you present that to businesses, sometimes they still have an issue, and usually they're okay with it. But we've had a couple instances where we had to get attorneys involved.
Yes, I can believe that would definitely happen.
Yep.
That would definitely happen because we're still waking people up on that score.
Yeah, there's a long way to go, and it's the same thing with the breeds of dogs. We've done, let's see, probably in the beginning we did 1 or 2 puppies, but since then I don't use any dogs under a year, year and a half. So we don't start with any puppies. They're all at least a year old, and all of our dogs are through rescues and shelters.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So you get your dogs mainly through your animal shelters or animal rescue organizations, of which there are quite a few of.
We've done, let's see, a few out of CACC, Chicago Animal Care and Control, and Animal Welfare League. I believe Trixie, the pit bull, came from Animal Welfare League, and then we got a few from breeders. The shepherd came from Chihuahua German Shepherds. So we don't, as our policy is, we don't buy dogs, and there's hundreds of dogs that are available, and we've had super great dogs come out of shelters and rescues, and otherwise if they were donated by a breeder. But
Yeah,
that's
well,
how we don't
I'm
buy
certainly
any.
glad that you used a pit bull mix because, again, you know, those dogs are so, they're a breed of dog that has a bad reputation like the German Shepherd does. Is, you know, because my cousin David in Fort Wayne, Indiana, owned 2 pit bulls for many, many years, and it was funny because when my brother and sister-in-law lived in Fort Wayne, Indiana, they couldn't go over to his house because they went over to his house one time in the wintertime, and it was a lot colder than it is today. It was like maybe 10 degrees out.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law stood outside on the porch for 4 hours while my brother stayed inside visiting. She would not come in the house because she was afraid of his pit bulls.
Well, and that's actually part of a new program that we've launched in the last couple of years. Most of the dogs I evaluate, and then we go through the training program. The dog Kobe and the dog Trixie, the pit bull, those were dogs that people have chosen first.
Wow.
Then they came
okay.
to us and they said, well, it's very hard to train your own service dog. So those 2 dogs were actually chosen not by me but by their owners. And then they came to me, and then we do the training with them to train their own dogs to become service dogs. They still have to pass all the temperament tests and all the training before they're certified. But those 2 dogs actually came with their owner.
Came with their owner.
Right.
You didn't actually do the selection process because the owners already did that.
The normal procedure is I get the dogs first, we train them, and then we place it. So on a few occasions where we've had people come with their own dogs, as long as they meet the qualifications, you've got the dog already, it's in the home, you're bonded, why not utilize their own dog?
Oh, that's great. Well, how many dogs do you have in training currently?
Let's see. Well, you caught us at a bad time. I've got 2 in training now, and we just placed Sadie, which is the golden doodle, poodle-looking dog, with Elena, and you'll see her in the clip.
Would be half golden retriever, half poodle.
Right, that's a golden doodle.
Uh-huh.
And Those, unfortunately, are becoming more popular today, but the Labradoodles and the Golden Doodles are used for people or kids with allergies because they don't shed, and the kids can be around those dogs.
Yeah, well, that's, that's wonderful. I was just going to ask about that because, if somebody needed a hypoallergenic dog, that's happening quite a bit in the guide dog training community. Historically, for many, many years, they trained German Shepherds, Labs, and Golden Retrievers, and then, of course, have recently started the Lab Golden Cross. But
Right.
then there have been a lot of blind people that have stepped forward and said, you know what? I have an allergy, or I have a family member who has an allergy, and you really need to reconsider your breed selection because, yeah, that's great, but the current breeds you use, we can't do. Now, originally we did the Labs, Golden Retrievers, and German Shepherds.
Right.
Those 3 breeds because they're the most plentiful and the most adaptable in terms of weather conditions, and the most plentiful because
most of the
organizations
dogs-
do their own breeding.
Most of the dogs we have are Labs and Goldens. You'll see Zach with Toby, the reddish-brown Golden Retriever.
Wow.
And you'll see Essie, the German Shepherd. Golden Retrievers and Labs, like you have a Lab and I have a Lab.
Yeah.
Labs and Goldens are just great dogs. They're super with kids. They're very easy to train.
Yes.
The German Shepherd also, very smart, a very good dog.
very adaptable, yes.
And like I said, every dog goes through some temperament training, and then we do the advanced training.
Okay, well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you very much for coming, and stay tuned for the B-roll on the dogs working in the mall.
Thank you.
Since the cold weather's
Right.
coming up,
Very good.
it's harder for me to move around. My back, it makes it harder for me.
Right.
So he helps me get up out of bed even. He actually notices more before I do the trouble that I do with my back.
Okay.
So he'll help me out sooner.
Does he just kind of like notice it like right
Yes.
away?
Oh yes,
So-
he does.
So let me ask you a question. So you are trading Angus with him? Okay. So what do you do?
I help with the bracing, and I help like just basic training.
So how do you go about trading for the bracing?
Like, okay, so if we're walking and someone loses their balance, they put his hand right here.
Okay.
The dog will automatically brace.
Okay. How long does it usually take for the dog to understand what you're trying to do? As a matter of fact, if you're falling down, I would suppose that the dog probably would have to lay down first and then get up with you.
No, they'd be actually standing the dog.
Okay.
And you are actually putting your whole weight on the dog.
Do you find like any situations that we go out in public that you find uncomfortable, or they might find it?
I've actually had places tell me that I could not come in with my
Oh, no
service
kidding.
dog. Yes.
And what have you told them?
I told them that I have every right to come in with my service dog, and even if they tell me to get out, I'll stay there. If they want, call the cops. I have rights. I showed them even, I've got a card that shows the laws.
Right. So, like, has it been like in a hotel, restaurant, or movie theater?
I've had it in, my kids go roller skating.
Okay.
At a roller skating rink, they turned around and they told me that my dog's unsanitary, he shouldn't be there. Because we sit in the snack bar area while the kids go roller skating.
Okay, and I just don't seem to understand that, even though like I understand the needery, but I don't understand it. I mean, you have a service dog and you need it. So what would,
Right.
Did you ever ask him, like, what would happen if I didn't have my service dog, something happened to me? How would you be involved?
They don't give me an answer, they just completely brush it off, they ignore it.
So, but you fought for your rights, though.
Right, yes.
You've always won.
Yes.
That's
yes.
very good for you.
And there are places that you wouldn't think of to be able to take a service dog, like the zoos,
Right.
and they actually treat you much better than most places.
Okay. That's good. And so again, can you explain to me what your daily activity is with?
Basically, we work on like training, sitting still, come when called.
How long have you been at this for?
A couple months.
So how'd you get involved?
Well, I went with my mom
Okay.
because she needed help with her service dog, And he's like, if you volunteer. So I said, yeah.
Well, it's good. Do you train them both? Do they mimic off each other?
Once in a while.
So, such as?
Like, for instance, if he comes when he's called, he'll do the same thing.
Okay, that's good. So how is your daily life been affected? I mean, do you feel like you really out there?
He's a big help, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And
He actually gets me moving around. There are days that I don't feel like moving around,
There
and
you
he'll go and
There
he'll
you go.
kind of like nudge me, like, "Come on, let's get going. You got to do something in the
otherwise
house."
than that, your confidence level would have been
Right.
So, in other words, the better question would be, how confident are you now?
More confident. I don't feel depressed, because if you don't do anything and you're just laying there all day long, or just
Right.
sitting around, you start getting depressed. He actually gets me up, gets me moving. I can be sitting there not feeling like I want to do anything, and he'll actually bring me a toy, like, "Come on, let's do something. You got to do something. You got to move around."
What's his favorite toy?
He actually has a light-up skull.
Oh, no good.
Yes.
Why is that?
It was a Halloween toy, and he just decided he liked it. It was just really weird, because it's a rubber skull and it lights up, and it's got like strobe lights in it. He
That's
likes
cool.
that.
So what'd you dress him up for as Halloween as?
He was actually himself for Halloween.
Okay.